My neighbor spotted me at the grocery store and whispered, "Act like my boyfriend while my parents are around." Holographic price tags flickered above the shelves, and tiny robots zipped past, restocking items faster than any human could. Alex, carrying a slightly overfilled basket, weaved through the aisles carefully, trying not to knock over anyone or anything. Alex had never been the type to enjoy crowds. Even with the promise of fresh bread and their favorite fruit, there was a constant tension in their shoulders. They preferred quiet mornings, maybe sipping coffee at home while scrolling through news about AI projects and robotics. But today, Alex had run out of snacks and milk, and apparently there was no other option. As they rounded the corner near the produce section, a familiar voice whispered from behind. "Alex!" Startled, Alex almost dropped the basket. They turned to see Riley, their neighbor, peeking out from behind a stack of bright orange pumpkins. Riley had that signature nervous energy, the kind that made people wonder if they were always in a hurry or just constantly thinking about something important. Riley glanced around nervously, lowering their voice. "Hey, I need a huge favor." Alex raised an eyebrow, trying to balance the basket while looking genuinely concerned. "Oh, what kind of favor?" Riley leaned closer, whispering, "Act like my boyfriend while my parents are around." Alex blinked. They had misheard, or maybe their brain had frozen in disbelief. "Wait, what?" Riley's eyes darted around again. "Please, just for a little while. I'll explain everything later, but right now just act normal, like we're together." Alex stared, feeling a mix of panic and curiosity. They were not in any relationship with Riley, not even close, and yet here was Riley asking them to play a role they had never imagined. I don't even," Alex started. Riley cut them off with a quick, desperate smile. "Please, it's really important. I promise it won't be awkward for long. Just trust me." Alex's mind raced. There were so many questions. Why did Riley need this? Why Alex? How awkward could it get? And most importantly, why did their heart feel like it had skipped a beat? "Okay," Alex finally said, almost automatically. "I'll do it, but you better explain why later." Riley's relief was immediate. They grabbed Alex's hand for a quick, reassuring squeeze, too quick to be noticed by anyone else, and whispered, "Thank you. Seriously, you're a lifesaver." Then, as if nothing had happened, Riley straightened up and smiled at Alex, blending back into the crowd as if the universe had not just asked Alex to pretend to be someone's boyfriend. Alex stood frozen for a moment, staring at the pumpkins. "I am definitely not ready for this," they muttered to themselves. The apartment Riley shared with their parents was not far from Alex's. The walk-over was a mix of awkward small talk and nervous silence. Alex tried to act normal, but every step felt like walking on a tightrope. They kept imagining all the ways this could go wrong. The parents asking a question about their relationship, Riley panicking, or worse, a robotic vacuum knocking over a plant and creating chaos. When they arrived, Riley's parents were sitting at the dining table, sipping tea. Mr. and Mrs. Patel looked like they had stepped out of a magazine, polished, warm smiles and eyes that seemed to notice everything. Riley froze for a moment before introducing Alex. "This is Alex," Riley said quickly, glancing at Alex. "My, boyfriend." Alex swallowed hard. "Hi, Mr. and Mrs. Patel," they said, forcing a friendly smile. "Nice to meet you." The parents smiled, looking genuinely pleased. "Oh, it's wonderful to finally meet you, Alex. Riley talks about you all the time." Alex felt a small, unexpected pang of pride. They had never been the kind of person who impressed others easily, but somehow, just being there, they were making a good impression. Riley, however, was sweating under their calm exterior. Every so often, they'd glance at Alex, mouthing, "Please don't mess up." The conversation started lightly, with the parents asking about Alex's work. Alex hesitated for a moment, realizing that telling the truth about their job in robotics might sound too technical, so they simplified it. "I work with technology, mostly creating things that help people," Alex said. The parents nodded approvingly. That's wonderful. We always admire young people who work hard and think about others. Alex felt relief, mingled with a strange sense of pride. They were just pretending to be Riley's boyfriend, but somehow, it felt good to be seen this way. After the initial greetings, Riley's parents invited Alex to sit with them while they served snacks. Alex had never been good at social interactions, but they tried to keep the conversation flowing. Riley, meanwhile, kept whispering little instructions like "look interested," "smile here," and "laugh at that joke," all while trying to sound casual. It was exhausting. Every laugh, every nod, every small gesture felt amplified. Alex felt like they were performing in a play with no script. Then came the question that made Alex freeze. "So, Alex," Mrs. Patel asked, her eyes twinkling, "how long have you and Riley been together?" Alex blinked. Riley's eyes went wide, panic flaring. Alex opened their mouth, trying to form words, but nothing came out. Riley jumped in. "Oh, we've been for a little while, I guess. Just, enjoying each other's company." Alex nodded, grateful for the save. "Yes. Enjoying each other's company," they repeated, slightly unsure if it sounded natural. Mrs. Patel smiled warmly. "How lovely. You seem so good together. We can see it." Alex felt a strange warmth in their chest. They weren't actually dating Riley, but hearing that kind of approval made them feel proud, important, like they mattered in a way they hadn't before. The rest of the visit passed with small, controlled chaos. Riley kept whispering tiny reminders: "Hold my hand casually," "laugh at my joke," "help me explain this part," and Alex followed as best as they could. Every movement, every gesture felt deliberate, but slowly it began to feel more natural. By the end of the afternoon, Riley's parents were impressed. They didn't notice any awkwardness, only a pair of young people who seemed genuinely happy together. Alex felt exhausted but oddly exhilarated. As they left the apartment, Riley turned to Alex with a relieved smile. "See, that wasn't so bad, right?" Riley said, though their voice betrayed lingering anxiety. Alex chuckled softly. "I survived," they said. "Barely, but I think we did it." Riley laughed, the sound light and carefree. "Thanks, Alex, seriously. I don't know what I'd have done without you." Alex felt their chest tighten a little. For a moment, the world seemed quieter, simpler, and more possible. They didn't know what the next few days would bring, but somehow they knew this was the beginning of something different. Something that involved trust, courage, and maybe a little bit of adventure. As they walked back to their own apartment, Alex couldn't help but glance back at Riley's building. There was a strange flutter of anticipation. They had entered this as a favor, a small act of pretend. But now they wondered if pretending could turn into something real. And somewhere deep down, they felt a spark of excitement. The kind of spark that told them humans, imperfect, awkward, inventive humans, could navigate anything. Even a grocery store request that started with, "Act like my boyfriend while my parents are around." The morning after their unexpected grocery store adventure, Alex woke up with a mixture of excitement and dread. The previous day's events replayed in their mind like a strange, vivid dream. They had pretended to be Riley's boyfriend, successfully surviving the scrutiny of Riley's parents. And yet the thought of doing it again, or worse, escalating the act, made Alex's stomach twist into knots. Alex had barely had time to enjoy the strange thrill of accomplishment when their communicator pinged. It was a message from Riley. "Meet me outside in 10 minutes. There's something important to show you." Alex groaned. 10 minutes was barely enough time to brush their teeth. Grabbing their bag and rushing out, Alex wondered what could be so urgent that Riley needed them again so soon. Outside Riley's building, Riley waited by the entrance, looking unusually tense. Their eyes darted left and right as if the streets themselves were listening. "Morning," Alex said cautiously, trying to sound casual. Riley waved and grabbed Alex's hand, pulling them a few steps away from the entrance. "Thanks for coming so fast," Riley said. "I know it's early, but I really need you to see this." What's going on? Alex asked, already feeling the knot in their chest tighten. Riley took a deep breath. It's my project. My secret AI prototype. Alex blinked. Secret AI prototype, Riley nodded, pulling a small device from their backpack. It was sleek, metallic, and glowing faintly with a soft blue light. It's not just any AI, Riley explained, eyes shining. It can help optimize energy use across entire buildings. If it works like I think it could make clean energy more efficient and affordable for everyone. But my parents don't know about it yet, and they can't find out until it's tested properly. Alex's curiosity ignited instantly. Technology had always fascinated them. And this was beyond fascinating. It was the kind of project that could change the world. So, you need me to act like your boyfriend while your parents are around so you can keep testing it? Alex asked, piecing the puzzle together. Riley nodded. Exactly. You distract them, or at least make it look normal. I just need a little cover. Alex took a deep breath. It sounded insane, but when they looked at Riley's hopeful eyes, they realized they wanted to help. Somehow, this little adventure was turning into something meaningful. Okay, Alex said, squaring their shoulders. I'm in, but we need a plan. Riley smiled, relief washing over their features. Thank you. Okay, so first, we need to make sure the device stays hidden. I've already set up a small testing area in my room. If we act natural, my parents won't suspect a thing. Later that afternoon, Alex arrived at Riley's apartment again. Riley's parents were out for a short errand, giving them a narrow window of opportunity to test the AI. Here's the plan, Riley whispered, leading Alex to a corner of the room behind a sliding screen. I'll run the initial simulations here. You just act like you're reading a book or something. Pretend to be relaxed. If my parents walk in, just be charming and friendly. Alex raised an eyebrow. Charming and friendly, got it. That's easy enough, I guess. Riley gave a small laugh. It'll be fine, just stay calm. The room was filled with soft whirs and blinking lights as Riley activated the AI prototype. Tiny robotic drones hovered near the ceiling, moving in precise patterns that Alex found mesmerizing. Alex watched, fascinated, as Riley typed commands and monitored the system. The AI responded instantly, adjusting the drones' movements, optimizing their patterns, and reporting energy efficiency data on a holographic display. Wow, Alex said, eyes wide. This is incredible. I've never seen anything like it. Riley's smile was a mix of pride and nervousness. Thanks. It's been a lot of work. They spent the next hour running tests, with Alex pretending to read a small manual while keeping one eye on Riley's anxious expressions. Occasionally, Riley would whisper instructions like "look surprised" or "ask me how it's going," and Alex would respond naturally, though they were still terrified of making a mistake. Just as the system seemed stable, a sudden alarm beeped. One of the drones started spinning erratically, knocking over a small stack of books. "Oh no," Riley whispered, panicked. "That wasn't supposed to happen." Alex jumped up instinctively. "Don't worry, let's fix it." Together, they moved quickly, coordinating their actions. Riley instructed Alex where to stand, what to hold, and which buttons to press. Alex's hands trembled slightly, but they followed Riley's directions perfectly. Within minutes, the drone stabilized, hovering smoothly once again. Riley exhaled deeply. "Thank you. I don't know what I would have done without you." Alex smiled, feeling a strange mix of relief and pride. "We make a good team," they said. Just then, the front door clicked. Riley's parents had returned earlier than expected. Panic surged through both of them. "Quick," Riley whispered. "Act normal, be you." Alex nodded, taking a deep breath as the parents entered the living room. "Hey, Alex," Mr. Patel said warmly. "Riley said you were over. Did you two have a good time?" Alex smiled, trying to radiate calm confidence. "Yes, sir. Just hanging out and chatting." Riley's parents didn't notice the faint humming of the drones hidden behind the screen. Riley subtly adjusted the settings so the AI wouldn't make a sound, while Alex continued to play the perfect, relaxed boyfriend. For a few tense minutes, everything went smoothly. The parents chatted casually with Alex, praising their work ethic and curiosity. Every word from Alex seemed to impress them more. Riley's whispered guidance, small gestures, subtle glances helped Alex navigate the conversation effortlessly. By the time Riley and Alex were alone again, they both collapsed onto the couch, laughing from the adrenaline rush. "That was insane," Riley exclaimed. "You handled that so well. Honestly, you're a natural," Alex laughed. "I'm exhausted, but it was kind of fun in a terrifying sort of way." Riley smiled, a warmth in their eyes that Alex hadn't noticed before. "You really get me, Alex, even in chaos." Alex felt their chest tighten slightly. There was something about Riley's honesty, the way they appreciated Alex's help, that made everything feel important. Not just the project or the pretend relationship, but this connection between them. Over the next few days, the routine became a strange mix of excitement and tension. Alex would visit Riley's apartment, pretending to be the perfect boyfriend whenever the parents were around, while also helping with AI tests and troubleshooting minor malfunctions. During one session, a drone malfunctioned again, this time spilling a small pile of holographic data sheets across the floor. Alex quickly grabbed the sheets, reorganizing them while Riley scrambled to stabilize the AI. Their hands brushed and both froze for a moment, hearts beating a little faster. "Sorry," Alex whispered, though neither moved away. Riley shook their head, smiling nervously. "No, it's fine. You're helping me a lot, actually." Alex smiled back, feeling a warmth they couldn't explain. "I'm glad. I like being here helping." Riley's expression softened. "I like having you here too." It was a simple exchange, but it carried more weight than either expected. The pretend relationship was slowly becoming something real, built not on pressure or expectation, but on trust, shared problem-solving, and quiet moments of connection. Even when Riley's parents came home, Alex found themselves more confident. They laughed naturally at Riley's jokes, asked thoughtful questions, and shared small details about their life. Riley's parents were none the wiser, believing they were witnessing a genuine, loving relationship. And yet, despite the calm exterior, Alex knew one thing: the AI prototype was still unpredictable. Each new test brought excitement and danger in equal measure. And through it all, Alex and Riley had to rely on each other, improvising, laughing, and sometimes panicking, but always together. By the end of the week, Alex realized something surprising. Pretending to be Riley's boyfriend had started as a favor, but now it felt like more. It felt like a partnership built on respect, ingenuity, and a strange, wonderful kind of trust. And as they left Riley's apartment that evening, their hands brushing briefly again in a lingering moment, Alex knew this mission was far from over. It wasn't just about pretending anymore. It was about discovering how humans, awkward, clever, and adaptable, could rise to challenges together. And maybe, just maybe, it was about discovering something real in the middle of all the chaos. Alex had never considered themselves particularly brave. They were careful, logical, and cautious, qualities that had helped them in their engineering work, but hadn't exactly prepared them for pretending to be someone's boyfriend in front of strict parents. Yet somehow, the last week had shown them a side of themselves they didn't know existed. When they walked toward Riley's apartment that Saturday morning, Alex felt a strange mix of anticipation and anxiety. The AI project was progressing faster than anyone expected, but Riley had promised there would be more challenges today. The small, glowing drones hummed quietly inside Riley's room, ready for another round of tests. Riley met them at the door, looking even more nervous than usual. "Morning," they said, tugging Alex inside. "We've got a big one today. I think the AI is ready for a full simulation, but there's a chance it might go a little crazy." Alex raised an eyebrow. "A little crazy?" "That sounds reassuring." Riley laughed nervously. I meant maybe a little chaotic, but that's why I need you here. You keep a calm presence, especially if my parents drop in unexpectedly." Alex nodded. They had become more comfortable in this pretend role over the past week. The awkwardness was fading, replaced by a quiet confidence and an unexpected enjoyment of Riley's company. The simulation began smoothly. The drones moved in precise patterns, following instructions from the AI. Alex watched Riley's fingers dance across the holographic controls, adjusting variables and observing the outcomes. The holographic energy maps displayed above the small workstation glowed in shifting patterns, showing the efficiency improvements in real time. Alex couldn't help but be impressed. "Riley, this is amazing," they said, eyes wide. "You really built this yourself?" Riley smiled, their cheeks flushing slightly. "I had help, inspiration from you, actually. Watching how you solve problems gave me ideas for this system." Alex felt a warmth spread through their chest. "Wow, I didn't realize I could inspire anyone." "Believe me," Riley said softly, "you have a way of seeing things differently. That's why this works better with you here." Alex's heart skipped a beat. It was strange hearing something so personal, but it wasn't awkward. It felt genuine. Just then, a sudden beep echoed through the room. One of the drones started spinning wildly, buzzing in a high-pitched alarm. Riley froze, their fingers hovering over the controls. "Oh no," Riley whispered. "It's the energy loop, it's destabilizing the sequence." Alex jumped into action, instinctively following the steps Riley shouted out. "Hold the panel steady. Press the reset on that node." Together, they worked in perfect synchronicity. Riley gave commands and Alex executed them with precision. Every movement and gesture was coordinated, almost like a practice dance. Within moments, the drone stabilized, hovering calmly as if nothing had happened. Riley exhaled deeply, relief flooding their expression. You were amazing. Seriously, I couldn't have done that alone." Alex laughed, still catching their breath. "We make a good team. I mean, if this is what pretending to be your boyfriend involves, I'm okay with it." Riley smiled, a quiet warmth in their eyes. "Pretending, huh? I think it's more than that." Alex blinked, unsure of what Riley meant, but before they could ask, a knock came at the door. Riley's parents had returned earlier than expected. Panic surged through Riley's chest and Alex's stomach tightened. "Quick, stay calm," Riley whispered, grabbing Alex's hand. The parents entered the room, smiling warmly. "We thought we'd check in," Mrs. Patel said. "Is everything okay?" Alex put on their best relaxed smile. "Yes, just helping Riley with a little project." "It's fascinating, actually." Mr. Patel raised an eyebrow. "Project, huh? What kind of project?" Riley's mind raced. Just some research for school, science stuff." Alex added smoothly. "Yeah, Riley's been working really hard. It's incredible how dedicated they are." The parents nodded approvingly, clearly impressed. Alex could feel Riley relax slightly beside them, their hand giving a subtle squeeze. It was a small gesture, but it meant more than words. As the parents chatted, Alex and Riley exchanged subtle glances. No words were needed. They knew when to laugh, when to nod, and when to quietly adjust the equipment behind the screen so that the AI wouldn't make a sound. Their coordination felt effortless now. After the parents left, Riley collapsed onto the couch with a sigh. "That was way too close," they admitted. Alex laughed softly. "You handled it well. Honestly, you didn't even flinch." Riley shook their head, smiling. "I couldn't have done it without you. It's strange, isn't it? How well we work together, even when everything is a mess." Alex felt a strange thrill. "Yeah, it's like we understand each other even without words sometimes." Riley's eyes softened. "Exactly. That's what I like about having you here." Alex's chest tightened. They had never felt this kind of connection with anyone before. It wasn't romantic yet, not really. But it was something that mattered deeply. Something that made their chest feel lighter, their thoughts clearer, and even the chaos around them seem manageable. The rest of the day was a mixture of careful planning and playful experimentation. Riley showed Alex some new modifications to the AI, and together they ran small tests, laughing at minor errors and celebrating tiny victories. At one point, a drone misread the holographic map and zoomed across the room, narrowly missing a stack of books. Alex lunged, catching it midair. "Nice catch," Riley exclaimed, clapping. Alex laughed, handing the drone back. "I guess this pretend boyfriend thing has its perks. I'm learning to be a superhero on the side." Riley rolled their eyes, smiling. "You're ridiculous, but I like it." There was a pause. Both of them looked at each other, a quiet moment hanging in the air. Neither moved, but both felt it, the shift from pretense to something real, something comfortable. Riley broke the silence with a small chuckle. "Okay, back to work. We can't let the AI take over the apartment again." Alex grinned. "Right, let's do this." As evening approached, they finished the day's testing. The AI was performing better than ever, showing promise for real-world applications. Riley's parents would have been proud if they had known, but for now, it was their secret. Sitting on the couch, exhausted but exhilarated, Alex realized something important. Pretending to be Riley's boyfriend had brought them closer than they had expected. It had started as a favor, but now it felt like partnership. Mutual respect, shared problem-solving, and trust had created a bond neither could deny. Riley glanced at Alex, their expression softening. "You know, this was supposed to be temporary, just a favor. But now I don't want it to end." Alex smiled, feeling their heart warm. "I think I feel the same. Pretend or not, being with you even like this has been amazing." They sat quietly, the room bathed in the soft glow of the holographic displays. For a moment, the chaos of drones, algorithms, and pretend relationships faded. All that remained was the simple, human connection between two people who had discovered something unexpected in the middle of ordinary life. Alex realized in that moment that humans were capable of more than just survival or problem-solving. They could adapt, improvise, and find joy even in the strangest circumstances. And sometimes, those moments led to something deeper, something real. The AI hummed softly in the corner, a silent witness to the growing bond between Alex and Riley. The pretend relationship was still a secret, but it had already changed both of them. And for Alex, that was enough. The weekend arrived with a kind of electric tension that neither Alex nor Riley could ignore. The AI prototype had been performing remarkably well, but Riley had insisted on one final test, one that would simulate a full building's energy management. It was risky, even for the small apartment space they were working in. Alex arrived just after noon, carrying a bag of snacks and a notebook filled with sketches and calculations. Riley met them at the door, their usual nervous energy amplified. "Alex," Riley said, dragging them inside, "I've never been more nervous about a test. If this goes wrong, it could ruin everything." Alex gave a reassuring smile. "Hey, we've handled chaos before. Remember the flying drones last week? We'll handle this too." Riley nodded, biting their lip. "I hope so. The prototype will have to control multiple drones and simulate energy flow across the whole apartment. One wrong command and—" Alex raised a hand. "We'll be ready, together." The test began smoothly. Tiny drones floated in coordinated patterns, their soft hum filling the room. Holographic energy maps displayed above the workspace, showing simulated electricity flow, efficiency improvements, and energy consumption. Riley typed commands with precision, while Alex adjusted supporting nodes and double-checked calculations. For an hour, everything seemed perfect. The AI responded instantly, maintaining balance and stability. Both of them shared quiet smiles, a sense of pride passing between them. Then, without warning, one of the drones veered off course. It spun wildly, crashing into a stack of papers and sending holographic sheets scattering across the floor. Riley froze, eyes wide with panic. "No. That's not supposed to happen." Alex sprang into action. "Okay, stabilize node 3. I'll redirect the drone." They worked in perfect synchronization. Riley called out commands while Alex executed them with careful precision. Their hands brushed several times as they passed tools and adjusted the drone's controls, but neither pulled away. There was no time for distraction, only focus. After several tense moments, the drone steadied, hovering calmly once again. Riley exhaled deeply. "Thank you, that was too close." Alex smiled, feeling a rush of adrenaline. "We've got this. I think the worst is over, hopefully." But luck was not entirely on their side. Just as they were resetting the system for another run, a familiar voice called from the doorway. "Riley, we're home." Riley's parents had returned unexpectedly, earlier than they had planned. Panic surged through Riley. "Alex, stay calm. Be charming." Alex nodded, taking a deep breath. They had become practiced at this routine, but the stakes felt higher than ever. The drones hummed quietly in the background, the AI still running simulations, while the parents stepped inside the room, smiling warmly. "Hello, Alex," Mrs. Patel said. "We thought we'd surprise you both. Is everything okay?" Alex smiled, keeping their tone light. "Yes. Just helping Riley with a little project. You know, science stuff." Mr. Patel glanced at the humming drones. "Science stuff? That sounds fascinating. What exactly is going on?" Riley's eyes widened. They had hoped the parents wouldn't notice the drones, the holograms, or the rapidly changing displays. Alex acted quickly, improvising. "Oh, just some data simulations for a school project. Riley's been working really hard, and I've been helping organize some calculations." Riley nodded frantically, whispering, "Thank you, quick, they're looking at the drones." Alex smiled charmingly at Mr. Patel. "Yes, it's all under control. Riley's the genius behind it, really impressive work." The parents didn't seem suspicious. In fact, they looked genuinely impressed, nodding and asking thoughtful questions about the project. Alex answered carefully, blending technical-sounding phrases with humor and warmth. Riley's whispered instructions helped, but Alex's calm presence was the real shield. For a few minutes, the tension in the room faded. Riley relaxed slightly, squeezing Alex's hand discreetly. Together, they managed to keep the situation under control. Once the parents left, Riley sank onto the couch, exhaustion written all over their face. "That almost went wrong," Riley admitted. Alex chuckled, brushing a loose strand of hair from their eyes. "Almost, but not quite. You handled it better than I expected." Riley shook their head, smiling weakly. "I couldn't have done it without you, seriously." "You've become amazing at this." Alex felt their chest tight. "I've learned a lot from you too. We make a really good team." Riley's smile softened, their eyes lingering on Alex for a moment longer than usual. "Yeah, we do." The room was quiet except for the soft hum of the drones. For a moment, the chaos of malfunctioning AI, crashing drones, and almost discovered secrets faded away. All that remained was the simple, human connection between two people who had learned to rely on each other. As evening fell, Riley and Alex decided to continue testing in smaller increments. They set up minor simulations, observing how the AI responded while keeping everything hidden from Riley's parents. At one point, a drone misread a holographic signal and zoomed across the room, knocking over a small lamp. Alex lunged instinctively, catching it before it hit the floor. Riley laughed nervously. "You're incredible. I don't know what I would have done without you." Alex smiled, holding the drone steady. "I'm just being helpful, that's all." Riley's expression softened. "It's more than that. You make me feel safe, even when everything is going wrong. That's rare, Alex." Alex felt a warmth in their chest. The words were quiet, but their meaning was loud and clear. It wasn't just about pretending to be Riley's boyfriend anymore. It was about trust, teamwork, and care, something deeper than any role they had been playing. Later, while reviewing the day's results, Riley looked at Alex thoughtfully. "You know, this started as a favor, a pretend relationship, but now I don't want it to end." Alex blinked. "I think I feel the same." Pretend or not, being here with you, working together, it's become important to me. Riley smiled, relief washing over their features. Good, because I was worried I'd ruin everything by asking for help. Alex laughed softly. You didn't. In fact, you've made things better. Unexpectedly better. The soft glow of the holographic displays bathed the room in blue light. For the first time, both of them allowed themselves to relax completely. The AI hummed quietly, stable and efficient, a silent witness to the growing bond between them. It was a reminder that humans, careful, clever, and adaptable, could navigate even the most unexpected challenges. And sometimes, those challenges brought people together in ways they never imagined. That night, Alex walked home slowly, thinking about the day. Pretending to be Riley's boyfriend had started as a small favor. Now it felt like more, a partnership, a connection, a shared adventure filled with laughter, tension, and quiet moments of understanding. They realized that humans had an incredible ability to adapt, improvise, and thrive, even in chaotic situations that seemed impossible to control. And with Riley, Alex had discovered something they hadn't expected: trust, respect, and a bond that might someday grow into something real. For now, though, the AI prototype hummed quietly in Riley's apartment, a symbol of their shared triumphs and near disasters. And Alex knew that whatever challenges came next, they would face them together, ready, capable, and unexpectedly happy. Because pretending might have brought them together, but real connection was what kept them going. The following week, Alex felt a strange mix of excitement and nervous anticipation as they approached Riley's apartment. The AI prototype was about to undergo its most important test yet, a full simulation of an entire building's energy system. If it worked, Riley's invention could be presented to a local innovation fair, potentially changing how clean energy was managed in the city. Alex adjusted their backpack and took a deep breath. They had been through chaos before: malfunctioning drones, near-discovered secrets, and pretend boyfriend scenarios. But today felt different. Today was the climax, the culmination of all the effort, trust, and collaboration they had built over the past week. Riley greeted them at the door, eyes shining with equal parts excitement and anxiety. Alex, I've been waiting for you. Today, everything depends on us. If this works, it'll prove the prototype is ready. If it fails, well, we'll just have to survive. Alex smiled, trying to ease the tension. We've survived worse. Together, remember. Riley nodded, taking Alex's hand briefly, their fingers tightening in a quiet show of trust. That simple gesture made Alex's chest warm. They realized that the bond they had formed over the past week had grown deeper than either of them had expected. Inside Riley's apartment, the testing area was set up meticulously. The drones hovered in precise formation. Holographic displays illuminated every corner, and wires and nodes were arranged carefully. The parents were out for the day, giving them complete freedom, but Alex knew they couldn't let their focus slip for even a second. Riley activated the system, and the prototype began its simulation. Energy flows appeared as bright lines across the holographic maps, moving in real time to show efficiency improvements. Alex monitored supporting nodes, adjusting small calculations to ensure stability. For the first hour, everything worked flawlessly. Alex watched Riley's fingers move across the interface, issuing commands and monitoring responses. Their partnership had grown so seamless that they barely needed to speak. Riley knew which nodes Alex would adjust, and Alex anticipated Riley's next steps. It was almost instinctive, a perfect synergy born from trust and teamwork. Suddenly, one of the drones emitted a high-pitched alarm. Its movement became erratic, threatening to destabilize the entire system. Riley's eyes widened. Node 7, it's overloading. Alex didn't hesitate. I've got it. Redirect the feedback loop while stabilizing the output node. They moved together, hands brushing as they passed tools and tapped commands. Riley called out precise instructions, and Alex executed them flawlessly. The drone wobbled dangerously, but Alex's quick adjustments brought it back under control. When the alarm finally stopped, both of them exhaled in unison. Riley leaned back against the wall, relief flooding their face. "We did it, it's stable." Alex smiled, heart racing from the adrenaline. "We really did it. I can't believe how well this worked." Riley looked at Alex with a quiet intensity. "You know, this started as pretending, but I think it's more than that now." Alex's chest tightened. "I think I feel the same. Pretend or not, I don't want it to end either." The moment hung between them, unspoken but understood. They were no longer just playing roles. They were partners in invention, in problem-solving, and maybe in something deeper. As the afternoon passed, the simulation ran perfectly. The AI handled every drone, every calculation, and every potential overload with precision. Alex and Riley monitored the results carefully, double-checking the data and making minor adjustments. By the time the final run was complete, the holographic display showed a near-perfect energy efficiency model. Riley's eyes were shining, and Alex couldn't hide their grin. "It worked," Riley whispered. "All of it. I can't believe it." Alex laughed softly. "I can, you're brilliant, and we make a great team." Riley's hand brushed against Alex's, lingering slightly longer than necessary. "Yeah, we do." The prototype hummed quietly in the background, a silent witness to their shared triumphs. The project, the chaos, and the pretend boyfriend routine had led to something real: trust, respect, and the kind of connection that neither of them had expected to find. Later that evening, Riley's parents returned home. They had been out longer than expected, and Riley had braced for the worst, fear that the AI might have been discovered mid-test. But Alex had ensured everything was hidden, and the room looked as if nothing unusual had happened. "Hello, Alex," Mrs. Patel said warmly. "Riley said you were helping with a project. How did it go?" Alex smiled confidently. "It went really well. Riley has done an amazing job. The project is functioning perfectly." Mr. Patel nodded, impressed. "That's wonderful. You two seem like a great team." Riley exchanged a glance with Alex. In that glance, they both acknowledged the journey they had shared, the near disasters, the laughter, and the trust. Alex squeezed Riley's hand subtly, a small signal of pride and support. After dinner, Riley led Alex to the balcony. The city stretched out beneath them, a glittering landscape of lights and energy. The sounds of traffic and distant chatter created a comforting background hum. "I never expected a favor at the grocery store to turn into this," Riley said quietly, leaning against the railing. Alex smiled. "Neither did I, but I'm glad it did." Riley looked at Alex, eyes soft and serious. "You know, you've helped me more than I can say. Not just with the AI, but everything, even pretending to be my boyfriend. You made it feel real." Alex felt a warmth spread through their chest. "You made it feel real for me, too. I didn't expect this connection, but I'm glad it happened." There was a quiet pause, broken only by the distant city sounds. Then Riley reached for Alex's hand, intertwining their fingers. "Maybe pretending was the start," Riley whispered. "But this is real." Alex nodded, feeling a rush of happiness. "Yeah, real." Over the next few days, the prototype was prepared for the innovation fair. Riley and Alex presented their work together, demonstrating the AI's capabilities and explaining the potential impact on clean energy. Their teamwork impressed the judges and attendees alike, earning praise and interest from local tech companies. Through it all, Alex and Riley's bond only grew stronger. They laughed, joked, and supported each other, no longer bound by pretense but strengthened by genuine admiration and respect. The experience had shown Alex something they had always suspected but never fully realized. Humans could rise to challenges, adapt to chaos, and create solutions in the most unexpected circumstances. And sometimes, those challenges could bring people together in ways that were meaningful, rewarding, and transformative. One evening, as they walked home from the fair, Riley turned to Alex with a grin. I guess pretending to be my boyfriend turned out better than I expected. Alex laughed, better than either of us could have imagined. Riley's hand brushed against Alex's. So, what now? Alex looked at Riley, smiling softly. Now we see where this real partnership takes us. Pretend or not, I think we're ready for whatever comes next. Riley squeezed Alex's hand gently. I like the sound of that. As they walked side by side under the city lights, Alex felt a deep sense of contentment. The AI prototype had succeeded, the chaos had been navigated, and what had started as a small favor had grown into something far more meaningful, a connection built on trust, ingenuity, and shared experiences. Humans, Alex realized, were capable of incredible things. They could adapt, improvise, and thrive even in unexpected challenges, and when they worked together they could achieve even greater heights. Riley glanced at Alex, a playful smile on their face. You know, I think we make a pretty amazing team. Alex smiled back. Yeah, the best team. And as the city lights flickered around them, they both knew one thing for certain. This was only the beginning of their adventure, together, real and ready for whatever the future held.